Dear viewers, welcome to our channel. Today we'll be reviewing the UEFA Champions League match. Before we start, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. With me, it's Fadimu Kende, also known as Kenny. He has his own football academy at Abuja. So we'll be talking about the recent matches that were played in various stadia around Europe as regards the UEFA Champions League. So, Kenny, what do you have to say? Yeah, we'll be starting up with Aston Villa versus PSG. What do you think about the Aston Villa PSG match?
That match was, like we predicted. We said Aston Villa was going to find it very difficult to come back, and that was exactly what happened. They even fell 2 goals down before recovering to score 3 goals, and they had only 1 goal to extend the tie to extra time, but unfortunately they were unable to get that goal. So PSG, at the end of the day, they had goalkeeper Donnarumma to thank for making sure that they scaled through and entered the semi-final.
You are spot on. Donnarumma saved 3 clear chances, and Kosa missed that header. If that header had gone in, I'm sure it would have been a different ball game entirely. Yes, and while we were previewing and that match in particular, I told you that I should not just push Aston Villa aside. The atmosphere at Villa Park is something else, and you saw they almost made a comeback.
They almost did, but of course, maybe the god of soccer was not with them. So I think they are making A in the Premiership. So maybe we expect them to be back next season, for them to also do themselves proud.
Yeah, looking at that match in particular, what do you think went wrong for them? Because for me, I think that the removal of Marcus Rashford reduced the intensity of the attack of the Aston Villa.
Well, in the end, conceding, they were 2 goals down in the first leg already, and then conceding 2 extra goals in the early minutes of the game also, reduced their chances.
Affected them. Yeah.
So that was what affected them in the end. So it's made their battle, the challenge more equivalent for them. So 4 goals down, it was very difficult for them, but they tried. They got 3 goals back. They clawed back 3 goals. But at the end of the day, PSG had the upper hand.
Yeah, I think they made some mistakes in the early part of the game, because in our last preview, you actually said that Aston Villa, that they are going to attack and PSG will counter them on the break, and that was exactly what happened. So when I saw those 2 quick goals earlier on, I said, "Oh, this game is over." But I was surprised when they started coming back to the game. I felt for them. I felt for them with the way they went out. 5-4 on aggregates.
Yeah, 5-4. It was an intense battle. That is one of the reasons why the UEFA Champions League is the premier club football championship in the world. There's no one other like it.
Then next, we'll look at Dortmund versus Barcelona. Man, in that match, I was very disappointed with what Barcelona displayed.
What a night of football. What a night of football. What a night of football in Borussia Dortmund at the Westfalen Stadion. It was a very, very entertaining game. Guirassy with the hat-trick in that game. Barcelona didn't see that coming. From 4-0 up in the first leg, they felt they were home and dry. But Dortmund had other ideas. And at the end of the day, the mistakes they made in the first leg counted against them in the second leg. That is why you don't need to sleep when you are playing at this highest level of football. You have to concentrate, be focused. That was exactly what Dortmund did not do in the first leg, and it affected them. They won 3-1, but it was not enough. It was too much for them to recover. So at the end of the day, they tried, but just like Aston Villa, they could not.
Their effort was not enough.
Over the line. Yes.
Their effort was.
They made the battle difficult for themselves.
Scoring 4 goals against Barcelona It's not an easy task to
an
do.
easy job. Yeah, it's not.
It's not quite easy. But what did you think went wrong for Barcelona?
Barcelona,
I didn't see them attacking their usual way. Their midfield was empty.
they came into the game believing that with 4-0 up, you know, it was not going to be a contest. It was no longer a contest. But they were shocked that Dortmund believed that they could do it, and Dortmund went for it. But 4 goals down is too much. It's too much. It's a big ask for them. So that was just what happened for Barcelona. They thought they were home and dry, but at the highest level, you don't let sleep.
No,
You have to be focused 100%.
Exactly.
Yes.
So Dortmund, they are out of this year's
They are out,
Champions
and they are
League.
struggling in the Bundesliga. They are struggling.
Just hope they are able to fight their way and come back to
Well,
next season's Champions League.
They play Borussia Mönchengladbach this weekend. So that's a tough game for them to climb up the Bundesliga table. So we'll see what happens.
Barcelona, they've gone through. So Barcelona, they are through to the semi-final of the UEFA
Yes.
Champions League. Then on Wednesday, Real Madrid
And
versus Arsenal.
At
What
at
do you
the
have to say
Almighty
about that match?
Bernabeu.
There was so much hype about that match, Real
So much hype.
Madrid, all their antics. You saw the way they drove to the stadium,
All the drama.
all the drama,
It
all the
was
news,
intense.
all the hype,
The build
all
up,
the talk about
the
how bad
montada.
they will come back. But the game,
You know,
it went
there was
differently. They got cooked
there
by
was
Rice.
there was
They
so
got
much
cooked by
of the
Rice for the
pitch.
second time.
Yeah. There was so much of the pitch coverage of the encounter. Arsenal went 3 goals ahead in the first leg, and in the second leg they went to Spain and they got a 2-1 victory to record a 5-1 aggregate victory.
The way the
See,
whole thing turned out.
Peter,
Yes,
like we said, Barcelona, they were 4 goals ahead in the first leg, and they felt they were home and dry. But Arsenal remained focused. That was the difference.
they
Arsenal
were
remained
very
focused.
focused. Yes, they were very
Yes,
focused. I am sure it
despite
was
having
because of all the antics displayed
yes,
by Real Madrid and their fans, prior to the
exactly.
game.
Exactly. Despite the 3 goals victory ahead, they did not feel like they have done the job already. They felt like there's still more job to be done, and that was exactly what happened. They were focused, and they got their 2-1 victory. Kudos to Mikel Arteta.
Mikel Arteta did a very nice job. He did a very
Yes.
nice job against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. So, what do you think went wrong for Real Madrid?
Well, Arsenal, Madrid, they are masters of the Champions League, but then Arsenal were more. They were hungrier. It was not as if Madrid, but Madrid still have that problem of balance in their attack.
We said it
Trying
the
to
other time. And he
yes,
repeated it again.
trying to combine Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Junior on that left side. It has been a problem all season long, And then the midfield of Real Madrid, they are still missing the artistry of Toni Kroos and Luka Modric. It's not an easy one for them to replace so far, So that those are the challenges that Madrid have. Their fluidity has been greatly affected by the retirement of Toni Kroos. So they are still trying to, maybe next season, they are going to get it right in the transfer market and bring in players that are going to fill in those absences.
And I would also like to add, I think Carlo Ancelotti had no clear tactics for that game.
Exactly. It
Just
seemed
saw
like
Real Madrid player running
exactly.
up and
You are
down with
correct.
no clear
You are correct.
tactics,
You are
for
correct.
that game. And
It's like
Arsenal, they played as a team, but Real
yeah, they had
Madrid,
a
they were
game
just
plan.
playing individual football, depending on
Yes,
names, to help them out.
yes. It was as if Ancelotti was relying on individual brilliance to draw them over the line. And football is no longer like that. You have to have a game plan and build on it. That was exactly what Arteta did, and Arsenal are through to the semi-finals.
Then there's this match nobody's talking about. Nobody's talking about them. And I'm scared about them. I'm telling you. Inter Milan. Inter Milan, they played against Bayern. Bayern almost came back.
The Italian giants.
I watched that match. I'm just sad that nobody's talking about Inter currently. Nobody's talking about them. And I told you the other time when we did that, I told you that they have the most balanced team in the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League, from goalkeeper to attack. They have good midfielders. They have good
a balance.
They have good defense, and they have a good goalkeeper. So I can see the balance. You saw the reaction, the way they reacted in that game against Bayern. Bayern scored immediately. Bayern scored. They replied Bayern with 2 goals.
Yes.
They replied Bayern immediately with 2 goals.
You know, aside from the balance of youth and experience in the Inter Milan ranks, they also have the advantage of having their coach for a long time, Simone Inzaghi. Simone Inzaghi has been there for up to 5 years now, so he has that job security. It's working for them. You know, that game plan. He has developed that game plan over the years. So it's working for Inter Milan. They are going to win the Italian Serie A this season. And I want to bet on them winning the Champions League as well. Yeah, based on their balance of defense, attack, midfield, everywhere is on point. They have the players, they have the resources to do it. And I think they are going to do it. It's going to be very difficult, but I see them winning the Champions League this season.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope your prediction doesn't come true. But they will have to overcome Barcelona.
Have to overcome. That's a tough job for them.
Barcelona. We are done for today. Yes, we are done with the review for the UEFA Champions League. Please watch out for the preview of the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League. Is going to be fireworks. Fireworks. We have Arsenal playing against
Paris Saint-Germain.
Paris Saint-Germain, yeah. While Barcelona will be taking on Inter. What a cracker. So we are going to be previewing those 2 matches this week. So watch out for the videos. So we thank you, viewers, for watching our channel. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much.